Welcome to Event Radio, covering local drag racing, stock car racing, motorcycles, go-karts. If it's got wheels and you can race it, you'll hear about it here. Event Radio is motorsports radio on steroids. Now, let's join your hosts, Spivvy Williams and Terrible T Guy.
All right, guys, welcome to the next edition of Event Radio. Are we at an event, buddy? I'm telling you what, we're at the LS Fest, the Holly LS Fest, one of our sponsors, and the guys that are having just too much fun. This place looks like Hot Rod Reunion deja vu, don't you think?
It's just as many people. I believe the cars are a little newer, but it's the same kind of crowd. It's awesome.
Well, you know, Holly, of course, is very, very well represented. Everything they make for the LS engines, and this whole event, you have to have an LS motor in your hot rod to be here, or otherwise they'll send you home, you know. This deal is strictly the LS Fest. It goes on once a year here in Beach Bend Raceway, which is one of our favorite places in the world, and I know it is yours too, T.
Imagine that being one of our sponsors.
Yeah, imagine that. But there is a huge crowd. It took us actually a few minutes to get in here.
Oh, they're lined up.
Yeah. But there's all kinds of cool vendors here that we're going to get to see. And we're actually going to run down. They have actually the Snap-on Top Fuel funny car here that Cruz Pedregon drives. And they just fired it up for the people, and they got them all crying with the nitromethane in the air and all that stuff. But, boy, it's just a cool venue, a cool day. And, man, this is the place to be. This is a happening.
Well, heck, Spivvy, they've got the autocross going on, the drifting going on. Not all at the same time, but you get three events out here, from the drag racing to the autocross, even to the drifting. It's going to be an awesome deal.
Yeah. Well, this is going to be a fun show. We're going to get to introduce you to a lot of people, and we might even we know it's a good event. And you know why we know it's really a first class event?
A lot of pretty women.
And the Reynolds Hilton is open.
The Reynolds Hilton is
the Reynolds Hilton is open
on
at
wheels.
This event, and they're out surveying the situation to make sure that they're in. Well, they're always in the proper spot, because they have their own reserved area for the Reynolds Hilton. But buddy, there are some really, really cool things at this event, and we're going to try to bring all of them to you, if at all possible. What do you think?
I think we need to get around here and ride and see what we can see.
Well, I tell you what, there's so many people, it's going to be hard to see what we can see.
It's going to be hard to pick the good ones because they're all good.
Boy, that's a fact.
I mean, really, there's some heavy hitters out here.
Boy, that's the truth. Guys, we appreciate more than you know you listening and you joining us. And what about do we need to give autographs out here? We were on TV in Dallas, Texas, on 15-minute show at Dallas. Car Guy TV.
Car Guy TV.
Yeah.
Sure was.
What a deal, buddy. Are we important or what?
Well, I had someone call me last night wanting me to appear in another show. A freak show.
A freak show. Okay. All right. Well, we'd be a lot more home there than we would be on the TV.
That's a great show that boy's got going.
No, it really is. And we can't thank them enough for allowing us to be on there. And they actually had us on there because this little radio station is so unusual the way we do it. It is not done anywhere else in the world like we do it, and we thought that was pretty cool that they recognized it.
At the opening up of the racetrack out there, we was on the local TV. So
yeah.
It's hard not to be a star when you shine like we do.
Should we get a makeup artist, do you think?
I think I'm good the way I am.
Yeah, well, I'd say we're okay. We're okay, guys. Listen, we're going to take a quick break from the LS Fest and say hi, let you say hi, or listen to our sponsors say hi to you. And we appreciate you more than you know joining us from the LS Fest, sponsored by our good buddies at Holly. We will be right back. All right, guys, we are back from the LS Fest, and with T and I being old racers, they fire a funny car, and we just naturally show up there. But we're with the great guys at Snap-on Tool. What is your name?
My name's Scott Singpiel.
Scott, where are you from, friend?
I work in the Kenosha office for Snap-on, the headquarters.
Well, I tell you what, we had one of your guys on Event Radio earlier, a fellow by the name of Baz Young.
Yep.
And we actually introduced him to the South, I think, because we were kidding him. He didn't know what sweet tea was, and he said that I butchered the Queen's English, and I said, friend, no offense, but I hadn't understood a word you said, you know. No, he is a fine guy, a great guy.
Yeah.
And you guys are the official tool of the Holly LS Fest, right?
Yep, it's our first year. We're involved with the Ultimate Streetcar Association as well, official tool there. And the same guys run this event, so they invited us out, and we gladly accepted.
Well, buddy, I tell you what, we actually use some of your stuff, and the only problem is it's smarter than we are because it knows how to fix the car, and we don't have a damn clue. But other than that, you know, it's you make really quality stuff, and we appreciate you being out here in the sun, and if you like, we'll even send you a copy of this interview, so that way Baz can't say you were in a nudie bar down here. You were actually working, you know. But anything new coming from Snap-on? You guys got the game, and I mean, you're the standard, the benchmark. So there's got to be something cool.
We are, yeah. We actually just had our national conference down in Orlando back in August, and launched a lot of new tools, a lot of great stuff coming out. We've got the Techno Express here, which is designed to go through all things diagnostics. So more and more cars are moving to more electronics and more things, and you need tools to be able to navigate through those, fix them, identify the problem, and everything you'll find on that Techno can solve the problem faster and make you more money, basically.
Guys, let me tell you something. You think a funny car school, they got a smart truck, you know. Gee whiz. I mean, that's pretty neat, you know.
Yeah, a lot of really cool diagnostics on there. And then right behind that, we have the Rock and Roll Cab Express, which allows customers to come on, customize their tool storage, whatever color they want, trim color they want, drawer configuration. We've got 4 different levels of tool storage in terms of series, Epic being the top of the line. We just launched a new version of Epic that comes with 3 wide drawers. Most of them all come with 2. You can now get 3.
That's cool.
Yeah, very
That's
cool.
Great.
Very
well,
cool.
you know, what's really cool, guys, is you guys enable a lot of people to make a living in this country. And there's a lot of product that can't, or I guess they could say that, but they don't build the quality to let a guy make a living for his whole lifetime. And you boys do that. And that's something that should be recognized by a lot of folks.
Yeah, we pride ourselves on offering critical solutions for critical tasks. So anything we can do to help technician do a job faster and make some more money, that's what we're all about.
Oh, buddy, that's great. Let me ask you something. Can y'all start brewing some sweet tea up there so Baz will feel at home, like down here in the South?
I'll bring him some proper sweet tea.
You take him home some sweet tea. Now, You don't have to put any moonshine in it, being this far down south. But because we asked him about that too, and he said, "Moonshine, what is that?" You know, but he is a great guy. He is your vice president?
Is
that right?
President of sales and franchising for the International.
All right. I knew he was up there, but he wouldn't tell us that till the interview was over.
Yeah.
And he said, "Bet you're impressed." I said, "No, not really." You know, we had fun. I mean, he's a great guy.
Yeah, he's got a great car over there. It's pretty quick. He ran against Cruz actually at the Nostalgia Nationals, I believe. He didn't quite get him, but Cruz ended up winning that event. So
you might, I mean, that wasn't really a fair matchup, buddy. But the thing about it, see, now wait a minute, maybe it was a fair matchup because when it comes to the sponsorship contract, he probably could whip him right there, you know, and say, "I give," you know. Yeah. So, but no, let me tell you something. Thank you so much for being in Bowling Green. Thank you for being at the Holly LS Fest. And more than anything, thank you for making the quality stuff that you make.
Yeah, we appreciate it. Happy to be here.
Guys, we are going to stab and steer. This is Event Radio. We appreciate you being with us, and we will be right back. All right, guys, we are back from the LS Fest, and we realize this event is brought to you by Holly, but we come to our favorite company in the world. There is no more favorite of ours on this planet than the guys at Quick Fuel. We try to search them out at every event, and the thing about them, they take such good care of their customers. They're at every event, which you know if you listen to our radio. We get to this guy we don't get a chance to introduce you to very often because he is the head marketing guy for Quick Fuel and really a nice fella. Mr. Bill Wenzel, how are you, sir?
I'm good.
You having fun?
I'm having a great time.
Boy, I tell you, they got you out in the field today. What happened there?
Well, Well, especially for local events, I'll always come out to the shows and work them with the guys here, our tech guys, and it's nice to interact with the customer base and see what's going on, and I'm always happy to explain and showcase our products to people who come by. So I'm just part of the team.
Well, it's pretty easy to do with the cool stuff you guys make. I mean, when they search you out and know that you're the bad guy on the block and you make the best stuff here, that makes your job pretty easy.
We have a lot of loyal customers who are very familiar with our products, and we try to do our best to treat them like they're our number one customer. And
well, guys, you do better than that. The thing about it, and we've done this several times, because we try to, at every event that you guys are, we want to have you on the show or somebody from the company on the show.
Sure.
And we actually hauled Angela at one of the races down to a customer for her to physically fix his carburetor. You know what I mean? And she was so busy she wouldn't talk to us. I said, "Get in this golf cart. I'm hauling you down there." But where I'm going to, you guys, you don't say send it to me, we'll look at it on Monday. You fix it right there, right now. And buddy, that says a lot about customer service now.
Yeah, we normally have at every event one or two guys from our shop who really has forged relationships with various racers, and they will work their locate wherever they're located, and they'll work on their car. They'll provide them with any type of product they need to modify or adjust or tune their carburetors. We do a lot of that, so I think it's pretty commonplace for us. And it is sort of a unique service we offer that maybe our competitors don't. And as you know, we do a lot of custom shop work at Quick Fuels, so we obviously have forged relationships with those folks, a lot of whom go to these types of events. So it's we just try to do our best. We're a small company, but customer service is definitely our priority and our main goal. So.
Well, buddy, let me tell you something. You may be a small company, but you're big enough to get the job done, and that's all that matters. They're not taking y'all home with them, but they sure appreciate you being there when they need you,
exactly.
and that's important. I mean, T and I go to the boat races, okay, and we're totally out of our element. And the first person we run into turning screws on a carburetor is Zach, and he's a wizard. And this guy's got him trying to figure out how to get an extra tenth out of his boat, and he just said, "Yes, sir, buddy, let me help you," and that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and he's actually been much more involved the last year or so on the marine side. We've expanded our marine product line considerably, in the carburetor area in particular, and he goes to a lot of those boating races, and we've been very successful, and that's what he does. And
now he never would admit to us. Does he know how to swim? I'm not sure.
Well, I hope so. I don't know.
No, he's a nice guy.
I guess that's a question you'd have to ask him. But,
and guys, let me tell you something. If you come to any of their events, there is one guy you got to meet. He is the drag racing mafia, and he is at this event, Mr. Tony LaPuma, and we call him the Drag Race Mafia. He is just a great guy, and just promise you,
he's in his element here.
Hey, he will make you a deal you can't refuse.
Yes.
There is no doubt. Bill?
Well, and that's the other thing, too. We do, at these events, a lot of times offer what we call pre-race products and carburetors. So we have deals going all the time. If somebody needs a carburetor, we have a lot of, the selection's excellent, and we offer really good pricing. So.
Well, and something, and I got to go, Marvin took me through the plant. And one of the things that I was most impressive with was when we got in the back room and here's all these engines set up, and you guys are bolting every carburetor on there and running that bad boy before it goes into the box. Now, how much does that say on making sure your customer has the good product when he gets it from the little brown truck,
Well, exactly. And plus, you'll hear a lot of our customers come back to us and say, really, all I needed to do was bolt it onto my manifold and basically had to do very little, if any, tuning to it, and it started right up. So, and that has a lot to do with the fact that we do engine test carburetors before they leave rather than flow test them. So they're actually on a physical engine, so they meet the spec. They're meeting the spec, and they're definitely tuned to the particular needs of the customer. So
May even have a little race fuel in it, guys. You never know. No, not really. I know you don't.
We
ship
don't
it.
ship them right away. But,
I know that.
They
I
may
know
have
that.
a little fuel in them, but
That's okay. That's
Yeah.
not a big deal. Hey, with what gas costs nowadays, even that much will make it a cheap deal.
right,
You know.
exactly.
Listen, Bill, thank you so much for taking a few minutes. You are a high demand fellow, and it's the first time we've actually had you on Event Radio, and we really appreciate you taking the time. And guys, I've said a lot of times that nobody appreciates our sponsors any more than Terry and I do at Event Radio. And we will stand flat-footed and tell you face-to-face, if we can make our radio show half as good as our sponsors like Quick Fuel make their product, we are a happy camper, because we feel like we've done a good job. Because for us to live up to their standards, hey, we're a bad boy.
I appreciate you having me on, and anytime I'd be more than happy to join you and talk about Quick Fuel.
All right, we'll talk about that lunch from that Dallas TV show
No,
later.
okay. Sounds good. Thank you.
Guys, you're on Event Radio. We're having just too much fun at the LS Fest. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. All right, guys, we are back from the LS Fest, and leave it up to T and I to find a killer female racer here. What is your name, ma'am?
Susie Bowder.
Susie, where are you from, hon?
Well, I moved to southern Indiana about 5 months ago from northern California.
Oh, that's a little bit around to the way.
It is.
Let me ask you something. We always check out being in the South. Does southern Indiana have sweet tea?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so you're...
We're really close to the Kentucky border.
Oh, that's cool.
Well, that's
Okay.
about
well,
mandatory.
Well, we will
then,
understand you then. You know,
Okay.
we're sort of into the sweet tea in the South and that kind of stuff.
Okay.
But tell me something. What you're doing, and I believe is autocross. Is that correct?
Correct.
Give us a little 5-minute education on autocross, because we cover every kind of an event in the world, but Terry and I are not real autocross geniuses, believe it or not.
Well, unlike a lot of racing events, it is truly about your ability to handle the vehicle. How you set your vehicle up to handle a significant amount of turns as fast as you possibly can.
Okay, so it's like road racing by yourself.
It is. It's all solo, and so you're not door to door. You're not up against anyone.
Now, is this a timed event? Is
It
that
is
the
a
way it
timed
works?
event, yes.
Okay. And as far as is it like a run what you brung deal, or is it, how's that?
It is a run what you brung. As long as you can pass your safety tech, which is relatively minimal. Good seat
Okay.
belts, battery tied down. That
Well,
kind
you
of
need
thing.
all that anyway.
Exactly.
And helmets, of course.
Helmets,
You need
and good brakes.
it. So how long have you been doing this?
I've been doing it for about 18 months.
Really? Now, what in the world got you bit by the autocross bug?
Well, I've loved cars all my life
Okay.
since I was quite young. I took auto shop in high school. I
One
was
of them
those-
California girls. Hey,
I
they
was.
all like cars.
We do.
That's right. Y'all are good looking too. So
Aw,
you know,
thank you.
we will invite you to our part of the world,
Well,
because
thank you.
make us look better. But say you took auto shop.
I did. And then about, I guess it's been about 5 years ago, my husband came across this shell of a Camaro that
Uh-huh.
a woman was selling.
Okay.
And let me tell you, there was not much to that car, and I was
Okay.
a little bit nervous. But pulled it into the garage and took about 18 months to build it up. And took about 2.5 years to get it where it is right now.
And so you go out there and just spank these guys big time, right?
I wouldn't say I'm spanking them, but I'm not last.
Hey, trust me, we watched you do this, and that's why we came over here.
Oh.
You're spanking them. You're being modest, gal, but they probably really dislike you being here from what we saw, the way you put it through there.
There's
What?
a lot of fast women. Women are very good at this sport.
We always like fast women. No, I'm just playing with you. We're both married and very
Well,
happy,
you
but
know-
we're playing.
And the difference between autocross and, say, a road track
Uh-huh.
is that we are constantly looking for a solution to get through a turn, to get through an exit, and get our lineup.
Right.
And women tend to be solution focused. We like to think through a problem and find a solution.
Well, they usually are. I mean, my wife can tell me what to do every minute of every
There
day.
you go, right?
You know,
Because
yeah.
she's 10 steps ahead of you.
Yeah. Well, she, and besides, she can whip me. So, see, a lot of guys don't realize we're old racers. We're not radio people, and a lady's reflexes are actually twice as fast as a man's, and a lot of people don't know that. There was a study done.
Was there?
There was a study done on that.
You put a dollar bill on the table and say go.
Yeah, you watch how
You're
quick
gonna have it every time.
or a shopping cart, buddy. They will wear you out. No.
You put those high heels on sale, and I'm
There you go.
Yeah, shoes are it, right? what got you into autocross instead of drag racing? Most of the California gals are drag racers.
Yeah. I think probably the wall, for starters.
Really?
And the challenge. I like the 35 seconds of turning and challenging myself to go as fast as I can versus the
5-second rush is not enough for you.
No, and
Okay,
going straight.
all right.
And just going straight.
Well, there's a little more to it than that.
I know, but
Well,
you know
you
what
know.
I'm saying.
Well,
and it's not. I think for me, much like not necessarily being a huge fan of the road course, is that it's not the speed.
Mm-hmm.
It's truly the challenge. My ability to wheel that 3,200 pounds around as a corner as fast as I can.
Well, you know, and honestly, guys, we wish that a lot of times that this was TV, even though we've been on a lot of it, that we could show you a little better than we were able to. We will take a picture, though, and flip it behind this show so they can see you. But this is really cool. Like I say, T and I have not been very much exposed to it. We've done over every other kind of venue there is, you know, and until the LS Fest events, we started covering those. We really didn't know what autocross was.
Wow. Well, it is certainly a really, really approachable motorsport.
Now, I will tell you that we did do a drifting deal, and you don't know T, our other half of this show, but he is an ex-professional speedway motorcycle racer with Bruce Penhall and those guys out there. Wait. He did a segment of the show live from inside of the car, sideways at 100.
Oh my
so
gosh.
We do things a little different than,
Awesome.
than the average radio.
Yeah, but that show, they thought I was a Baptist preacher. I was, oh, Lord. Sweet Jesus.
Yeah. But we have a lot of fun. And this little show that you're on goes everywhere in the world. So,
Awesome.
Yeah, we get to introduce you to a lot of nice folks.
Well, that's great.
Hey, we've transplanted her to God's country now, and she likes sweet tea, and all of the seawater didn't fog her brain from
Nope.
out there, you know.
Nope.
And even though this show comes out of Los Angeles, you know, we're not,
well,
you know, we're
I'm a Northern California girl. So,
Oh, okay,
you
you're
know.
right. Sacramento up in that way, huh?
San Francisco.
Really?
Yeah.
I left my no. Oh, okay. Tell us a little bit about sponsors. I know you got.
I know
them.
you've got the Ride Tech decals on cars.
I
Everyone
do.
we've seen around
I
here.
do. We,
Good sponsor, huh?
Yeah, we are sponsored by Ride Tech. We actually, my husband, we moved to Indiana so that my husband could eventually work for Ride Tech after being sponsored.
Cool.
And I would say that, you know, getting a sponsor is it's fantastic because, of course, it does help you do things to your car that maybe
Sure.
you wouldn't be able to afford to do. But it's also a challenge because you have to live up to your sponsorship. You got to be fast. You got to show up. You got to be there, and you got to get your seat time in so that you can be exposing those products. But
There you go.
We've been fortunate to be sponsored by a few different companies.
Well, and I noticed you've got one name on there that is an old deceased buddy of mine that I drag raced with a long time, Mr. John Lingenfelter.
Yeah.
And John was a Principal guy and brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
Yes.
But anyway, Gal, thank you so much
You're
for taking a
welcome.
few minutes to be on Event Radio. We're going to give you a special something when you leave, and there's some very special decals that the only people in this world that have them have been on this show.
Oh,
you
my
can't
gosh.
buy them. You can't even bring us sweet tea and get them.
Oh, my gosh.
But so far
can
we've
try.
been, you can try. But
I might.
so far we've been very fortunate. Everybody we've given them to winds up in the winner's circle just about. So,
son of a gun. Well,
big
that
money,
might be my
big money.
I could use that lucky ticket
Well,
here.
hey, we want to try to help you. We're not guaranteeing anything, but they've got a pretty strong track record.
Okay. I'll take
Thank
it.
you so much, Gal, for being on
you.
Event Radio. We appreciate you taking the time. And, guys, you want to get spanked by a pretty girl out here, just come out here and try to autocross. You're going to get that. There ain't no doubt about it. You're on Event Radio, guys. We will be right back. All right, guys, we are back from the LS Fest, and we run into an older company that I have been friends with one of the guys for, it seems like, 200 years, and it is the absolute best camshaft company in the free world. There is not one any better. And Chase Knight, if you call me and cuss me, I'm not going to say a word. But anyway, the guys at Comp Cams, my good buddy, Mr. Gary Henderson, sort of, I don't know if he's quit now or if he still works or what, but what is your name, sir?
My name's Chris Ryan. No, Gary Henderson is still with us. He's doing outside sales now, so he can't stay away from it.
Well, he needs to be outside. You know, no, Gary, listen. There is not a nicer person on this planet
There really isn't.
than Gary Henderson. He is a wonderful human being. I have known him probably 25 years.
Really?
And, yeah. Well, maybe not. Yeah, no, not quite that long. Maybe 20. but just a great guy. What in the world is new at Comp Cams? I mean, you guys are the benchmark here. They all chase you, and they're constantly chasing you over.
Yes, sir.
You make too good of stuff, buddy.
We try real hard. They spend a lot of time with R&D, developing new products, and trying to stay ahead of the curve, especially with a lot of the new motors coming out. We've been doing a lot with the LS motors, very big in the LS scene, and as well as the new LT motors that are coming out.
Well, you'd never know that. I mean, as big a crowd has been around your booth, they'd think you were giving away $100 bills.
You'd think so.
You know, I mean, you guys, you bring an LS motor to life, you know, and I did an interview with Don Garlitz, and Don and I were sitting talking. I said, what's the secret to making one of these things run? He said, well, you idiot. He said, only thing that causes the motor run is from the top of the piston up. Said it does not. Said it would run with oil cans in the bottom.
Yes, sir.
And you guys control the timing of that on the fuel, how quick it gets in, how quick it gets out. All the stuff is what the camshaft does. And honest to goodness, I know how they work, but it just amazes me every time I think about it.
A lot goes into it, man. There's a lot to know and a lot to learn and a lot to take in as far as how valve timing works and how to efficiently build a good motor and make efficient power and make it last, too. It's a big thing.
And, guys, that's where the telephone comes in for you, because you can call the guys at CompCam if you're a total just dumb fat guy like I am, and you can call the guys, and you got a field full of experts there, including Gary. Now,
yes,
Gary's
yes,
a sharp boy. But in a field full of experts that will help you on the phone, and they won't steer you wrong. That's what's cool.
Now, we spend a lot of time with – I'm one of the guys that you will talk to when you call in. And the guys on the tech line are very knowledgeable, very helpful. We cover a wide variety of engines, wide variety of products as well. Spend a lot of time taking calls. We probably field anywhere between 1,000 and 1,200 calls a day between the entire tech line.
Boy, I tell you what, that's more than one of them X-rated phone lines, isn't it?
I know it, right? We don't
right.
even charge you for it either.
Yeah, you don't even have one of them 900 numbers. I mean, you'll actually talk to them. Boy, that's cool.
Yes,
that's
sir.
really cool. Anything new that we need to be the cutting edge on to tell people about?
One of the biggest things that we've done is our new conical springs, which if you're familiar with the Beehive spring design, they've now gone one step further and created the new conical springs for longer valve train life, higher spring pressures, better control over the valve. So it's really, really a unique product they spent a lot of time developing.
And a lot of guys, you go out there and you blow your old motor up and you think you've done something wrong, and actually the valve springs is the reason that it does blow up. Those parts, they can't operate efficient enough, and those parts get to know each other, and then that's why they tear up.
They're an unsung hero, and there's just as much black magic behind those as there is a camshaft.
Exactly.
They're just as important. Their job, if anything, may be even more important.
Yeah, because they enable the rest of it to work as it was designed to work.
Exactly. A lot of folks forget that or just don't realize it.
Yeah, that's right.
They think a spring is a spring, and we're here to help you realize that it is not. It is part of the package, and to keep it right and keep everything happy and living long, we need to make sure you get the right parts to work with the right parts.
And that's all the more reason you need to pick up your phone, call CompCams, or I presume it's CompCams.com on the...
Yes, sir, CompCams.com. We've got guys on the phone line. We've got guys on live chat, email, tech, Facebook, Twitter. I mean, they've got just about every avenue to get a hold of us. If you can't get a hold of us, there's something wrong.
Or you can see Gary Henderson out on the street with his tin cup,
Pandering.
Yeah, he's out there pandering, trying to give a little advantage. No,
yes.
Listen, no, he is a dear friend of mine, and I love him like a brother, and just one of the great guys. And honestly, yeah, you guys really, you're the benchmark. You're the class of the field, and we know it. Event Radio knows it, and it's been a pleasure to have you on our little radio show.
We thank you, man. We can't do it without the support of our good customers and our friends like yourself. This is what put us in the position we're in, and we're gonna do our best to stay there.
Hey, when you're the big dog, you're the big dog, guys. What else can you say? Guys, you're on Event Radio. We're having a blast at the Holley LS Fest. There's no telling where we're going to wind up next, but don't you dare go anywhere. We'll be right back. All right, guys, we are back from the LS Fest. We just wolfed down a burger, and we got commandeered to come down and see a car that they tried to hide from us, I believe, because they've got it in here behind the Chris Alston Chassis Works and stuck in behind a Stacker trailer, and it's an absolutely gorgeous lime green Camaro. What is your name, sir?
David Atkins.
David, where are you from, friend?
We're from Hamilton, Michigan, Western Michigan.
Well, that's not too bad.
Yep.
Let me ask you something. Do they have sweet tea in Michigan?
My wife likes sweet tea.
Okay. Well, I mean, we sort of worry about some of you guys a little farther north in the Ohio River because you number one, you don't have moonshine and you don't have sweet tea.
Yeah,
but actually, you do a pretty fair job at building race cars.
We're not too bad at that.
Yeah, I didn't think you were. Tell us a little about your hot rod, sir.
Well, the car is owned by Gary Lee. He's out of Florida.
Okay.
He bought the car, and the car was built by Dave Hunt Race Cars out of Virginia. And that's a brand new car. We've only had 6 passes on the car.
You notice they have sweet tea both in Florida and Virginia. That could be why it's so slick looking. I mean, don't let me stop you. Go right ahead.
Yeah, it's a nice looking car. Dave Hunt did an awesome job on it. And we've had the car up in Michigan for about the last month and a half. And this is our second race, and we've only got 6 passes on the car.
How quick is it, sir?
We have the fastest car on the property right now at 470 in the 8th mile.
That'll work.
So we're looking to do some more testing today. We're running the Pro LSX class, but I guess we scared everybody off and nobody else showed up.
Well, they'll get over it. Hey, what's the old saying? Everybody hates a winner, but everybody wants to be one.
Yep.
Is that what it is? That's the way I've always heard.
Yeah, we had a race lined up for today with the RPM magazine or RPM Transmission Cavalier, the 2,000-pound nitrous car, but they weren't able to go down and get it and bring it up here. So.
Well, that was probably a good excuse. You don't want to look bad in front of all these people. There's a lot of people here.
Yeah, it's a pretty big event.
Yeah. Where all did you go, sir?
We were just at Norwalk, and we run a lot of the NMCA races. I also have a 63 Impala with an LS motor in it. We had it here last year and won the Pro LSX event.
Well, that's cool.
So we run that. That's a low 6-second small block powered 63 Impala.
Fun. That sounds like a fun hot rod.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we're pretty fortunate, and I believe the car has a turbo on it, does it not?
It has 2 turbos from locally Bullseye Turbos out of Muskegon, Michigan.
Okay.
And they build turbos up there, and they're not too far away from us here in western Michigan.
Well, we just had a guy on our show 2 weeks ago, matter of fact, that's pretty smart on turbocharged motors. His name is Bill Delvey.
Okay.
He actually builds all the IndyCar engines for Menard and Andretti.
No kidding.
And has sat on the front row of the Indy 500 5 times, has won the pole 3 of those.
I thought you were going to say Duttweiler.
No. Bill is a real nice fellow. He, but he actually does some funny stuff. He has one of the Andretti engines in a drag boat.
Nice.
8,000 horsepower, 300-pound hull.
Wow.
200 and something in a quarter of a mile, with a carburetor, no less, and twin turbochargers.
Wow.
But what he does, there are 2 ignition systems, and this thing is fixed crank trigger-wise to fire every stroke.
Really?
With a switch. And I said, why in the world? I said, I noticed when you were up there, it was backfiring. He said, you just grinned, and he said, yeah, I do that on purpose. And I said, why would you do that? And he said, very simple. He said, one of the problems with the turbocharger is the lag. And he said, they get the plugs really dirty.
Right.
And he said, with this twin ignition system, I flip the switch. By it firing every time, it cleans every spark plug. The minute I hit the throttle, I hit the switch. It's just like putting a brand new set of plugs in it. There is zero turbo lag. And he went through there at 221 mile an hour, so I guess he knows a little bit about what he's doing.
I guess he does.
Everybody believed that, but Corvette Racing, and they hate us.
Huh.
And out of we also did the opening of the new motorsports park here, and we had Corvette Racing on here. Let me back up. We asked Corvette Racing to be on our show.
Okay.
They said, we don't do interviews with people like you.
Interesting.
So, but I appreciate you doing interviews with people like us.
Well, we appreciate it.
Got any sponsors that you need to talk about or talk real good about them, and they might give you some more money?
Well, I got to talk about TJ Grimes. He's our tuner, and he helped me build my Impala. He's helped me a lot on this car, and he's tuning the car this weekend. He's from Baker Engineering in Unica, Michigan.
Uh-huh.
And he's this 31-year-old, just a wizard on this turbos and EFI. And Baker Engineering builds a lot of LS motors and offshore boat race engines, and they do some military development work for UAVs. And they're right there in Unica, Michigan, western Michigan. So
nothing like having a ringer with you, is it, bud?
No, I'll tell you what.
When you got a guy that knows a lot about
knows a
what's
lot.
going on, man, they can make you look so good.
Yep.
You know,
We've been working together for the last 10 years with streetcars and everything else. So he writes a lot of tunes, and we're all just learning, trying to make these things go faster with
Well,
little small blocks.
I tell you what, buddy, you guys are amazing to me. The things you do with what you do it with, I just sat back with my mouth open, because I'm an old fat guy that's been at this in a long, long time, and it's unbelievable the amount of performance that you get out of these cars.
Yeah, it's crazy how fast these guys are going on the radial tires, and if the track prep is good and they got them the sticky enough on the starting line, I mean these tracks will take all the power you can give them.
Well, you'll always like it here because I don't think there's a track anywhere that I'm aware of that is any better prepped or that is taken care of any more and has any more first-class people working at it than Beach Bend Raceway. I mean, they are the class of the field. So
that's a beautiful facility.
You'll get out and be able to stand on it, okay?
Oh, yeah.
Listen, my friend, thank you so much. We're sorry we disturbed your nap.
We're good.
Or were you in there watching cartoons in the motorhome?
We were
Which
actually
one was
watching
it?
football.
Oh, watching a football game. There you go. There you go. Who says racers don't have a little fun on the side,
Right.
Listen, my friend, thank you so much for being on Event Radio. We really appreciate it. We appreciate your buddy here dragging us in. Come interview this, and I said, okay, let's do it. So we appreciate you taking the time to spend with us.
No problem. Appreciate it.
All right, guys, guys, you're listening to Event Radio. We are at the LS Fest, sponsored by our good sponsor, the guys at Holly. And no telling where we'll wind up next, but just hang in there with us. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back. All right, guys, we are back from the LS Fest, and we run up on a gentleman that I don't believe you passed parallel parking. What is your name?
Jason.
Jason, where are you from, my friend?
Out of Clarksville, Tennessee.
Clarksville. Well, that's cool. That's cool. And you got a Jeep called Scary Canary, and it's got an LS motor in it.
Yep.
And it's a rock crawler. I know enough about it to know what it is. And you got in here and parked that dude plumb up on the tire of another one. That's
Yep.
why I said you don't know much about parallel parking.
Now, where we at, just park on top of them.
Just wherever,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Let me ask you something. I've got a friend that does the rock crawling, and I find that amazing. I mean, you guys put those things where they shouldn't be. What got you into that?
I just always been into off-roading and finally got into the building the rock crawlers, and it's just a barrel of fun. Used to drag race up here, and I don't know, it just got to where it was competitive, and we can go do this now and just all have a lot of fun, hill climbing, rock crawling, whatever we want to do.
Well, I mean that's cool. It takes some talent. You got to be able to read the countryside pretty good to not get totally crazy on that thing, don't you?
Yeah, it takes a little experience in it. Just get in them and drive them, and they'll kind of teach you how to do it.
Yeah, I would say so. This is really cool. I don't understand it. I like it. I went and watched it, and it's sort of like a 4-wheel trials rider, I guess you'd say. Man, you guys put them things in unbelievable positions.
Yeah, it's unbelievable where they'll go and what they'll do. It's actually really fun to do.
You having fun at the LS Fest?
Yes, sir. It's a blast.
I should have known better the way you parked your Jeep. You're the kind of guy that's got to have fun everywhere.
Well, we started bringing them last year, and just because there wasn't none up here with LS, no rock crawlers up here, so we put LS motors in them. We thought we'd come participate. Have
Hey,
fun
buddy.
with them.
Well, I tell you what. On behalf of our sponsors, which are Holly, we thank you for coming and being here and being on this. We're gonna give you a packet that's got some very special decals in it, and everybody we give them to seems to win. So maybe it'll bring you a little luck. You think?
I hope so.
All right. Well, thank you for being on Event Radio. Guys, we're just having too much fun. No telling what we'll run into next, but don't you go anywhere. You're on Event Radio. We will be right back. All right, guys, we're back from the Holly LS Fest. And believe it or not, we have found we have gotten strictly in T's element. You don't know about the other half of our host. Our other half back here is an ex-professional speedway motorcycle racer. So we find a motorcycle exhibit. The only thing, they are the guys from the coolest thing going, the Boss Hoss motorcycle deal, because you got LS motors and a bike. How cool is that? What's your name, sir?
My name's Tim Siren.
You got to get up a little closer to. There you go.
Tim Siren.
Okay, Tim. And you are with Boss Hoss, I take it?
Yes.
Okay. Now, Who in the world? Now I got to know, because I know you guys have been around a long time, and you're the class of the field of the V8 motorcycles. There's no question. But who in the world, guy, came up with that idea?
Monty Warren, who still owns the company. It was his idea, and I might add, a good idea.
Oh, I'm telling you,
To anybody
great
that
idea.
wants to go fast, it's a great idea.
Yeah.
Well, you don't have to worry about having enough power to pass. You know, I mean, it's you've got all the horsepower you're ever going to need.
Not only the power speed, but they're beautiful bikes.
Oh, I'm telling you,
look
gorgeous.
At the paint job, the craftsmanship.
Yeah, I'm going to catch him apart. We're going to take a couple of pictures, guys, to flip behind this interview. But there is a blue one over here with flames that is absolutely drop dead gorgeous. If that comes up missing, come to Event Radio. You may be able to find it there.
All right.
Okay. Boss Hoss has been around how long?
25 years.
So you've been building fun for 25 years.
Yes, we have, and it's been fun doing it.
You know something I've noticed, and most of the aftermarket bikes, they tend to lose a little in value. But the Boss Hoss is exactly different. From what I've noticed, a guy could buy one of those and keep it a little while. He might even make a little money on that thing.
We've noticed that, in the last 20 years anyway, stuff just keeps going up in price, and these have always kept a nice residual value.
I went to Bike Week one time, and my wife was a beautician, and she worked at a shop that was owned by an Asian fella and his wife, and he had a Harley. So he was from the West Coast and stuff, and he said, I want to go to Bike Week. And I said, okay, bud, we'll go. So we load up and we go to Bike Week. Well, actually, you would have thought that you hit him with a truck the first time he saw one. He said, Boss Hoss, Boss Hoss. That's what he said. That every time we'd cruise up and down Main Street, he'd say, Boss Hoss, Boss Hoss. So he was a pretty good ad for you.
Oh, yeah. When we take a trip down Main Street in Daytona or Sturgis, that's all you hear from the crowd when you ride by.
Yeah. And the thing about it, they sound good. That's what's so cool.
Yes, that is definitely the mark.
Well, I tell you what, my friend, I think I was amazed. I actually sat on one of them, and I thought, oh, boy, this thing is going to be so heavy to hold up and all. And it's not. It's not any heavier to hold up than a Harley.
No, it's not. It actually has such a low center of gravity engineered into it that it feels lighter than a lot of other production bikes.
Yeah, I was amazed because it was the farthest thing in the world from what I expected, you know. And I just think they're neat. I think they're cool.
They are, and smooth. I mean, you got the horsepower there if you want to be aggressive, or you can be as docile as you want. Quite a machine. Now,
do they have like a power glide in them? Is that what they use, an automatic transmission, or what?
Well, our trikes have a 4L70E. It's a 4-speed automatic overdrive, and our two-wheelers have our own patented design 2-speed semi-automatic with reverse.
Cool. Well, I was going to say you almost would have to have a reverse to aid you in backing it up, I would think.
It makes it easier.
Yeah, Lord. I mean, I'm an old fat guy. It'd have to be easy for me, you know. Well, I tell you what, guys, if you ever run upon the Boss Hoss display, you owe it to yourself to come and stop and check these things out. They are absolutely drop-dead gorgeous. Quality, no question. I mean, it's as good as it gets. But if you want to graduate into a real motorcycle, let's say, they could come talk to you, and you probably could get that done.
I can fix them right up, yep.
All right, my friend, thank you so much for being on Event Radio. We may talk to you again in Daytona because we go everywhere. But we appreciate you spending a few minutes on Event Radio and being so nice to join us. We thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, we'll be right back, guys. All right, guys, we're still at the LS Fest, and we come over to a little outfit that's been around for a long, long time, and they actually produce a product to go in your motor that gets more abuse than anything in there. The Wiseco Piston folks. What is your name?
Yes, sir. My name is Brian Nutter.
Buddy, you're just too doggone proper now. It's calling me sir is like an elevator in an outhouse. Number one, I don't owe you any money, and number two, it just makes me I feel funny.
I know.
I know. And what do you do for Wiseco, sir?
I do a lot of design work. I basically, if a racer calls in and they're building a combination, I get with them and we just talk about the combination. We figure out what the best product is for those guys, to fit what they need to do. And we just figure out how much money they want to spend and, the best way to do it efficiently.
what's the old adage? Speed costs money. How fast you want to go?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Well, racers are pretty innovative guys. They dream up stuff. I know you guys probably spend a tub full in research and development anyway. Yes. But racers will take your product and they will put it to the supreme test as harder than anybody in the world.
Yep.
And I think it's cool that you come to an event like LS Fest to get out there and get your hands dirty, get in the middle of them, and find out what's really they need to have.
Well, exactly what you're saying there. It's like, everything is evolution. A lot of people try to tell you it's all in the computer or anything like that, and it really isn't. These guys are out there testing stuff, going a tenth or two faster every year, and they find where something is going to break. And when something's going to break, we got to know exactly where it is. And through evolution, we figure out how thick do we need to make it, how beefy does a wristband need to be? Do they need coatings? Do they need platings? Do you need some kind of outrageous ring set? And if a guy needs that, that's great. We can offer it to him. But at the same time, if a guy's on a budget, I don't want to spend their money. They can spend it somewhere else.
Well, the thing about it, you've got to be able to do all that. It's sort of like doing a handstand. You got to be able to do all that fancy stuff, and yet you got to keep it as light as possible, and to where it will do the RPMs necessary and it not kill itself. To achieve the end result,
Yeah, absolutely. And that's one of those things, we try not to overbuild parts. It's like if a guy needs a 2 1/4 inch wristband, that's great. If he needs to beef it up to a 2 1/2, he can do that. The other nice thing about the technology these days with the CNC machines and the programming we got, we can go through there and do 3D milling. So, whatever the top of that piston needs to be, we can do that. But then we can go out there and carve out underneath. So that thing is a 1/4 inch thick everywhere underneath that crown. So there's no fat on that piston at all.
And that's good. That's good because reciprocating weights cost horsepower.
Very much. I mean, that's more stress on the crank. That's more stress on the rod. And bearings. That's a big thing. And a lot of people
do I know about that stuff. I'm not a radio guy, buddy. I'm an old ex-funny car guy. So, I'm one of those that looks at the piston after every pass.
Yeah.
And it, you guys make a superior product. Really, it's cool. And I was talking to your partner in crime there on your new coating that you put on them, which is actually a plating, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, we do. We've got, you're used to this. The top fuel pistons out there, we got an anodizing process, which is great. It really hardens the piston on the skirt and the ring lands and the ring grooves and the top. But the problem is for a lot of our guys that are running on the street, you have to run a couple thousandths more clearance. So we've got some other processes now where we actually plate the piston just in the critical areas like the top and the grooves and the pin bore, and yet we're able to bleed the heat off out through the skirt and actually get the hardness just where we need it, and yet run fairly tight piston to wall clearance.
Yeah, guys, you need to stop by and see these folks because there is a wealth of knowledge here that you probably have read about, but you can come right on this table and see it. A lot of people don't have a clue what a gas port is, and you've got a piston laying there that you can actually show them what it is, what it does. I mean, I know what it does, but they may not know what it does.
Sure.
And you can explain that to them. And, guys, you can get you a serious education at the Wiseco booth.
We really appreciate that. And like I said, everything that we do is evolution. If we just sat there and built the same parts we did 5 years ago, we wouldn't be anybody. But, it's like, we just learn through our racers, and our parts get a little bit better every year through evolution. And that's what it takes to stay on top as a racer, too.
Well, buddy, let me tell you something. We appreciate you being at the LS Fest. We appreciate you sharing your knowledge with the racers. Only guys, the companies that care about you are here. The rest of them were too busy to come. And, it's really cool that you get out with them and get out amongst them and say, here, boys, let's do it this way.
Well, I'm very appreciative for the opportunity to get to talk to everybody, too, because I'd like to talk to 1,000 people here this weekend and maybe only 200. But
well, you might as well because you can't get in to get a hamburger over here. I mean, the line's 40 miles long,
Gotcha. Well,
all right.
Again, thank you very much.
Hey, listen, we appreciate you being on Event Radio. This little show goes all over the world, and we get to talk to racers of every kind because, well, up until a week ago, we did only everything with wheels, and then we went to the boat drags, and we went crazy. Oh, we had a blast. We learned more at the boat races. We had a gentleman, and he, I don't know if he's one of your customers or not. If not, he might be on down the road, but a guy named Jim Delvey. And he actually is head of motor development for the Menard and Andretti teams.
Absolutely.
So he's pretty good at what he does.
Yeah.
And this guy is just brilliant. I mean, he was so far over our heads, and we finally said, "Look, we really like you, but sit there and shut up," because we lost you 20 minutes ago, But no, all kidding aside, he's a brilliant man, and when you can come and you can gain the knowledge of you guys as the company right here, and you don't spend a million hours on the telephone to get it done, and you can look at it, you can feel it, you can smell it, and I guess they'll let you lick on one of them. I don't know. You might have to. You can't get a hamburger.
If you buy it first, yes.
Yeah, you buy it first, you can lick on it. Okay. But, hey, I'm telling you, if you wait long enough to get a hamburger, the Pistons get to where it looks pretty good. But anyway, thank you so much for being on Event Radio. We had fun, and let us poke a little fun at you. And thank you for being such a great company.
Anytime, sir.
All righty. We're right at the we're at the Wiseco booth, which is actually very close to the hamburger stand, and it is in the shade. These guys are pretty smart. We're at the LS Fest, guys. You're on Event Radio. Do not go anywhere. We'll be right back. All right, guys, we are back from the car show end of the LS Fest, the Holley LS Fest. And we get to talk just a minute to our old buddy that we've known a long time. Rick, how are you, my friend?
Doing pretty good.
You're actually the guy that they either love or hate in this event because you're the guy that judges all the show cars.
Yeah, I've been doing the Holley LS Fest for the last 3 years.
Well, how many of them love you and how many of them hate you? Or do you know?
How many winners you have and how many losers?
Yeah, there you go.
Right there.
Well, it's probably a good thing we don't know who's winning and losing yet.
Oh, okay. All right. That's cool. Well, you ought to know, buddy. You did all of the judging on Hot Rod Reunion. You have put on your own cruise-ins that have absolutely gorgeous cars at them. So your credentials ought to be pretty strong for what they've got you doing out here.
Yeah, that and I've been doing paint and body restoration since I was 14 years old and just turned 48 this year.
Well, see, now you weren't supposed to tell everybody how old you were. Now they know how long you've been doing it. Whatever. That's okay. Yeah, I've seen some of the work you do. It's absolutely gorgeous. I don't mind telling you. I just didn't want to blow your balloon too hard, In Rick's opinion, what's the sharpest car here? Is that hard to say?
Well, there's a Chevy C10 truck behind us that is just absolutely gorgeous. And
I think I saw that. You had that one on a Facebook, something that you showed some people the kind of quality stuff that was here. And if it's the blue truck, I agree with you. It is absolutely drop dead gorgeous.
Oh yes, it is by far. And as far as his class, he has probably won his class.
Well, I tell you what, I don't know how you do it, my friend. I don't know how you can. All of these cars are gorgeous, and we play with you on liking you and hating you. But I don't know how you can possibly. Do you use a point system or something, or how do you do it?
Yeah, we use a point system, and it's per section of the vehicle. You have so many points for the body, so many for the engine, so many for the interior, so many for the underneath the car, the suspension and everything, and then we total it all up and get our winners.
Huh? Yeah, okay.
Well, I knew this place you got sitting right here. Started in retrospect, but it looks like you could judge more than the cars from the spectators walking by.
Boy, I tell you, there's some pretty girls at this thing, isn't there?
9s and 10s.
Yeah, really.
Really?
We're riding by and Terry says, "Look at that!" And I'm looking for, and there's this
Ray
good-looking
Charles
girl
was
walking by.
This one girl she used to find.
Yeah, I know, and that, but you don't judge them, do you, bud?
I looked around. There's Rick.
Well, it's kind of hard not to look when you're single.
Well, there you go. See, you have an alternate motive there, on being the car show judge. Some of these guys, now I don't understand this, but some of these guys will bring a box stock car out here that's just like it came off the showroom. How do you judge that?
It's really hard. Look at them, how they've kept them up, how they've taken care of them. Some people don't just take the best care of their cars, and see how clean they've kept them and how the body has been taken care of.
I see. I understand.
You see a lot of.
So there really is a way to do it. I was playing with you, thinking that there would be no way to figure that out, but you actually do have a method to your madness, I guess, that you can figure out how they're done. Terry and I have had a blast out here at the LS Fest. This is a fun event. You got more show cars to look at than the law allows. I don't know how you do what you do. But
I tell you, this LS Fest, these LS motors, unless you're building a completely original car, back to original, there's no reason not to build an LS motor for your car.
Oh, well, the guys at Holley can give you everything you need to do that. I mean, they have everything for an LS engine, and who better to do it? Who better to advise you than the guys that put on the LS Fest? I mean, the good guys at Holley. You know, they know what to do to make them walk the walk. You know.
Yeah, I mean, just like yesterday, when you take a 4,700-pound Cadillac and run a 10-second quarter mile with it, and it's driving on the street every day with air conditioning, and
ain't your daddy's car, is it?
No.
That's not your Saturday night date special. Huh? But the thing about it, with the LS motors, it could be, because they're actually very mild as far as, or docile, I guess I would say, that they can be used on an everyday basis, and you got a 10-second out-of-the-box race car,
you know. Getting 24 miles a gallon.
I hate you. Our Suburban gets 7.
And, you know, there was one just a little while ago, same thing. Cadillac run 1270, and he drove it out here, and he drove it from I think he said he drove it in from Georgia.
Well, we had a lot of fun. Last week we did the opening of the new road course at the Corvette deal, and we were talking to the guys at Callaway Cars. Well, a Callaway Corvette is as good as it gets, and we had fun with them because we had a little ripple with the guys at Corvette Racing, and the guys at Callaway. We told them about our little problem, and they said they got tickled, and I said, "What's so funny?" They said, "You see that new Corvette sitting right there, the new Callaway?" And I said, "Yes, sir." He said, "See the license plate says 228?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Well, actually, that is a certified street legal 228 mile an hour car." And he said, "We can outrun anything that the Corvette racing guys have got with the XM radio on and the air burning." You know, the air running. And I said, "Whoa." You know, so where I'm coming from, they have engineered cars now with all of the computer control stuff and like the LS stuff and that stuff, to where, man, it just brings everything open to the hot rodders.
Oh, yeah. Well, like I said, that LS motor, they just, when you make them breathe better, they run so much better. And all they are is an air pump.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's all any of them are.
I found out from a guy we were restoring trucks for and building several cars for the last few years, and that's all he started running. And I asked him, I said, "What do you do to an LS2 to get 600 horse out of it?" He said, "I port the heads and change the camshaft."
Yeah. You call the guys at Comp Cams, they give you the right stuff, springs, everything, and it's an effortless swap, and you got it. You're done.
Yeah. You got a 600 horse engine sitting there where a small block Chevy would have cost you $5,000.
Oh, exactly. Well, listen, my friend, we hate to cut you loose because we could talk to you all day, but we got to get out here and stab and steer and do what they're supposedly want us to do.
Oh, yeah.
So,
well, it's my privilege. And
hey, no, buddy. We appreciate slowing you down long enough. We thought we were going to have to chase you down at the concession stand to get you on here, but we finally found you. You can't hide from the old fat guy and the old broke-down motorcycle racer for very long. We will always find you. But our buddy, Mr. Rick Wilson, thank you for joining us, my friend.
My privilege, and it was good talking to you.
Guys, we are at the LS Fest. We're having just too much fun. We're going to get out of here and cruise just a few minutes. Don't go anywhere. You're on Event Radio. We'll be right back. All right, guys, we are back from the LS Fest, and we are with an old buddy that, honestly, we are convinced knows more about the sport of drifting than anybody we know. Plus, he is a very, very important sponsor on his race car, especially with the way the shape our country's in right now.
Yes.
The sponsored car of the Tennessee National Guard,
yes.
Mr. Barry Clapp.
Yes, sir.
My friend, how in the world are you?
Oh, we're just couldn't be any better right now. We're so excited to be here. So excited to have the Tennessee National Guard on the cars, and she's running pretty good today.
Well, I bet you sleep.
Look good out there, Barry.
I bet you sleep good at night with those guys as your sponsor.
It does. I'm not a bit worried about it.
Guys, our military, there is no way to say thank you enough to them for everything they do.
Absolutely.
The sacrifice. They write this country a blank check, and whatever it takes to get it done, guys. We're here giving you all that we have to get that done. And at Event Radio, we appreciate the military more than we can even express, you know. And you do such a fabulous job of representing them. Buddy, I'm telling you what, sideways at 100 with the smoke flying, you show them who the bad guy on the block really is. Hey, you looked really good out there.
I want to call him Reverend Barry.
Yeah.
When I was in the car with him, I did more praying then since grade school.
Yeah, Terry actually rode with you.
Yep.
And we have had more comments on that show.
I've had my clothes on in a long time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, they even contacted us about an air race to see if he'd ride in an airplane. You know, they said, "Well, if you ride,
I will."
Yeah, They said, "If you ride that thing, you ride anything."
One of these things, that's right. You'll do just about anything.
Well, I tell you what, we got to meet you the very first drifting event we did, and we became buddies. And we always looked to you on telling us what's going down, where and when and how and all that stuff. And you guys put on a fabulous show.
This is the most fun that you can have behind a steering wheel. You can't. There's no words for it. I've raced everything. I've drag raced. I've run round track. I've run road course. There's nothing like this. There's no way to explain how much fun it is to throw a car sideways at 100 miles an hour.
Well, guys, yeah, if you ever got out and played in the ice and snow as a kid, but you did it at 10 or 15 miles an hour in a shopping center parking lot.
Right.
These guys are sort of like doing that on steroids. They do it at 100 sideways. And
we can't do it when it's raining just about because we have so much horsepower, so much grip. You know, you've got to have that balance to be able to do it on dry asphalt.
Oh, no doubt,
And that's where all that tire smoke comes from. Where you see that big show, you know that's wise because these cars really have a lot of grip in them.
We have been here at the LS Fest all day, and it is really cool. There's events going on just about on every inch of this racetrack of some type, whether they're swapping out motors or whether they're showing chassis development or whatever they're doing. But you guys take the stage. Everybody leaves. They even leave the doggone concession stand. We were hoping you'd go back out because we tried to get a hamburger for 20 minutes. But they even leave the concession stands to come stand at the fence and watch you boys. Y'all are the star attraction now.
It's fun for us as drivers to pull up there and grid and to see the tidal wave of people leaving their whatever they were doing to come fill the grandstands to watch us. That really makes us feel important, makes us feel great.
Well,
makes
buddy,
us want to put on a good show.
Well, Barry, what about the car up here sent to the right of you? Looked like he fought the wall.
Yeah, he looks like he kissed the wall of death or something, huh?
You know, that young man has been drifting. This is about his 5th event. It's the first time he's ever been here to Bowling Green. And Bowling Green is a bad place to make a mistake.
Well, you got a concrete wall, buddy.
And he backed her in there pretty
hard.
hard.
Well, think about it.
Yeah,
he'll remember it. He'll remember it.
He won't ever do that again. I did the same thing, but I did it with the front end of my car about 3 years ago. And shortened it about 3 feet. And we rebuilt her, and we're back out.
There you
but
go.
That's just part of it.
Well, it's part of learning, buddy. It's part of learning. And I mean, you're the old master of this deal, you know, and we know it.
I am the old man out there.
Yeah, well, you're also the old master, my friend. We know that going in, and we come and we play with you a lot. But if you want to see the show, guys, you look at the National Guard card, and you're going to see the show because they're going to be your showstopper.
Yep. We've got our other car sitting up there just kind of as a showpiece. It's actually got a new owner. Our teammate sold it. He's learning how to drive. He didn't feel comfortable enough to get out here and really mix it up with these big boys here.
I'm like Terry now. I know he rode with you, but he has a saying, and I'm going to use it with you. I wouldn't get out of the electric chair to get in that car with you. I think I'd have a better chance. You know, and I know you're a pro at what you do, but boy, I mean, it's scary to, you know, when you get Terry in that car, and everybody, guys, go on our archive page, and you can hear this fiasco.
Oh, yeah.
At the first Tennessee Drift Show that's on there. But everybody, we kidded Terry about, you know, saying ugly words while he was in there. He wasn't saying ugly words at all. He was praying.
He was praying more than anything.
He was praying.
You thought I was a Baptist preacher saying, oh, Jesus, sweet Lord.
Oh, I got to have it, man.
Hey, looks like you got some heavy hitters out here today, Barry.
We do. We've got a
good
couple.
Competition,
We've got
like
2 pro guys here. The little blue and white car is a Formula D driver named Nate Hamilton. And he's a good driver, got tons of money in that car.
So it'll just take you one lap longer to smack him? Is that it?
It's going to be hard for me to keep up with that old boy, but I'm going to get in his door if I can.
I believe you'll
and
be all
there's
right.
a couple of other guys. There's a guy here from Vegas Drift. There's heavy hitters from MDU, which is a Pro-Am level, which is like you'd probably compare that to like the Truck Series in NASCAR. It's a couple of series down from the biggest league you can go to.
Right.
And they're all here, man. That's how big a show this LS Fest is.
Well,
Blaine
it's
and
grown,
Holly and
buddy.
the guys
It's grown.
have done
We
such a good
met
job.
you at the very first one, I think.
Yeah, that's right. That's
and,
right.
And it's man, it's grown. There's no doubt about it. Now, listen, guys. If you come to any drift event,
this is
and you need to search out the National Guard car and our buddy Barry. He will educate you. He will amaze you to watch him, and he's just a doggone nice guy. I mean, that's all you can say.
Well, we appreciate that.
A very talented guy doing wraps and graphics and all that. Man, it looks like a portrait on the side of your trailer, buddy.
Isn't that beautiful?
That's pretty.
We did the car, and the guard was working on their artwork and stuff. My chef's bringing me something to eat here. Look here.
Boy,
But,
we had to stand in line at the concession stand.
That's
Boy, you
service
can
right
tell.
there.
You can tell when you're, man. Is this pitiful or what? Oh gosh! And you're from the South. You even know what sweet tea is. See, daggone it, unreal. But you're
two of us from the South up here.
Yeah, well, that's all right. That's why you guys will wind up being first and second. That's not a problem. You're going to do it. Listen, my friend, we'll let you go because the food looks too good for us to keep you in this golf cart.
You'll have to get over and get you.
Oh no, you're trying to kill us.
That looks all good.
I know you spoil us, and don't be doing that because we still got to work for a few minutes.
That's right.
Guys, the one and only Mr. Barry Clapp, the man of drifting, and he is our friend, and we are honored to call him that. And guys, come by, give a little tip of the hat to the National Guard. They're the ones that are letting you sleep well at night.
That's right. Check them out on Facebook, Tennessee National Guard recruiting page. Check us out at Tennessee Drift, Blue Collar Racing on Facebook. Check us out. Give us a like. Follow us, see what we're doing out there.
That's right.
Oh, there she comes.
You won't be able to keep up with them, but follow them anyway. They got it running, guys. That's our clue to get out of here. You're on Event Radio. We are at the LS Fest having too much fun. We will be right back. All right, guys, we are back from the Holly LS Fest, and we get to commandeer probably the guy that just might be instrumental for bringing all of this here. And he's our buddy because he's an old drag racer, too. Mr. Trevor Wiggins with Holly. How are you, friend?
I'm doing great. We're having a great weekend out here at Holly LS Fest, and I can't say good enough things about it. It looks like it's almost a packed house. If not, it is a packed house.
Well, you figured out getting the word to 2 or 3 people, buddy, because this place is full.
Oh, it's year 5, and we had a couple of years in there that it rained, and I don't think we could have chose a better weekend to have it. It's beautiful, great cars, great time.
Boy, I tell you what, we have just had a blast. We've been able to cover just about every aspect of it and talk to the people in every venue, I guess you would. And man, these people are great. They're having fun. A lot of your vendors, we've been able to talk to them, and they're just thrilled to be here. They can't believe the crowd you've assembled for them.
It's almost amazing to watch some of the drifting, some of the autocrossing, some of the True Street Challenge, some of the drag racing, some of everything that we have going, the car show, the swap meets, everything that we have going on. It just continues to get bigger, and faster and more. It's almost like that racer mentality,
Well, you're an old racer, so you know how they think, buddy. I mean, you've been one a long time.
Oh, that kind of hurt me a little bit. That old racer.
That's better than being a non-existent young racer.
No, I've been racing junior dragsters and quarter midgets with my kids dramatically, and every time I walk up there with my kids, they're like, "Are you retired yet?" And I'm trying to hang on and say no.
Well, I tell you what, it's got to be a cool deal for your kids to have the mentor that they have out of you, because, buddy, you've won everything there is to win. I'm not blowing your balloon because you're one of our sponsors. Hell, I like you. But you really are. You're an excellent racer, and the fit with Holly is just perfect for you because you deal with the racers. You know how to talk the talk because you have walked the walk, And man, it just couldn't get no better than that.
Well, I appreciate you saying it. And as a racer mentality, we're only as good as the last race we just won. But we always want to keep digging harder, and that's one thing trying to teach my kids as much as possible, just to keep digging. Don't ever look back. Just keep going to the next one.
There you go. Well, we're going to, when all this craziness is over and we can actually sit down at Event Radio, we're going to get to sit down with your kids, and we're going to talk about junior dragsters. We're going to talk about quarter midgets, and we're going to just have some fun. And they're going to tell me if Dad tells them straight or not. So you better get ready, buddy. You might want to coach them.
This might be a bad situation. I ain't going to lie to you. Usually, and I'll tell a quick story about my kids. And I've raced go-karts. I've raced all kinds of levels of cars. And I will tell you, when we roll up there, I tell my kids, I'm not pushing it to the staging lanes. I'm not helping you get in the car. But when I tell them right up front, I'll kneel in there and I tell them, hey, kids, this is all about you. This is your one deal. When you roll up that light, you better turn it on.
There you go. Well, it won't be long, buddy. If they follow in Dad's footsteps, they're going to get good enough that they're going to turn to you and say, hey, look, friend, the jockey don't walk the horse.
Oh,
so you're going to have to.
I kind of hope that happens soon, to be honest with you.
Hey, I feel it will. It the fruit don't fall far from the tree, my friend.
Cool.
And well, it really doesn't. And I would hate to know that I had kids trying to compete with your kids with the knowledge that you bring with it to the game. You know,
we want every kid to come out. If you had kids, I'd want to help your kids too, just as much as I help mine. I'm not going to lie to you. I want every kid I can put in those cars.
Oh, I know you do, because you're a good guy, you know, and just like all the good guys at Holly, you know, to guys you can call them up. Even my buddy Ed Woodard. And Ed Woodard is going to sit and do a whole show with us because he is a wealth of knowledge in a lot of different subjects. And he's one of the guys you can call up when you got problems with your Holly carburetor and you need to buy a dozen more. You can call Ed Woodard and he'll talk to you. And nice guy.
You know, I look at Ed as a pillar in our automotive industry. Everybody I talk to, one of the first things they ask me is, how's Ed Woodard doing? And, you know, going back from the Lenati days, going back from all the stuff that Ed's done, the car shows, everybody's still. And I idolize Ed to death.
You know, when I was, I guess, 16 years old, Trevor, I went with Ed Woodard to the very first street rod run in Gatlinburg. The very first one that was had. And he was my babysitter, I guess you would say.
That's
and
awesome.
If that isn't the blind leading the blind, I never know what is. But we had a big time, and I enjoyed it. And Ed's been a friend of mine for a lot of years. And no more knowledgeable, no more personable guy for you to have on your staff than him.
I couldn't agree. And he always tells a joke back, basically, when one day he's going to die inside Holly. And he's going to stink up the whole place. And I tell him I'll drag him out as good as anybody. I love him so.
There you go. Guys, the one and only Mr. Trevor Wiggins, one of the absolute coolest guys. Well, he's one of the wheels at Holly. Anyway, we're not going to make you sound that good. We don't want your head to blow up.
I appreciate that.
But in one of the coolest guys at Holly, guys, I'm telling you, please, if you get a chance, always go to the event, stop and talk to him. Wealth of knowledge on racing in general, but a special wealth in the sport of drag racing, because you are a bad boy, my friend.
Awesome. I appreciate it. I don't know about all that, but I do appreciate it. I enjoy being a part of what you guys are doing.
Well, we're having fun. Guys, we are at the Holly LS Fest. If there's such a thing as a fun police, they're going to get us at any time, but we're having fun. There's no telling where we're going to next, but don't go anywhere. Hang in there. We will be right back. Well, guys, we have had one heck of a time at the LS Fest.
Show.
Oh, buddy, I tell you what, this is, the events that come from Beach Bend anymore are just so classy. They are the, God, I can't imagine why anybody would want to be anywhere else other than right here, you know.
Got everything we need right here in Bowling Green's back door.
Yeah, all the good events in this country just about come from Beach Bend Raceway. You look at the Hot Rod Reunion, the LS Fest, the Ford race, the and it just keeps on
coming.
Yeah, they just keep on coming. And our buddy at Dallas Jones has actually a bunch more already booked for next year. A new Tri-5 event, which is 55 6 and 7 Chevys, that they're going to have to cut it off at like 2,500 cars. And man, they're going to get that.
They're going to be full before Christmas.
Yeah, I think they have something like 400 or 500 pre-entered, and they've never even announced it. That's just through the rumor of what's going to go on. And then you've got, coming back next year, you've got the Good Guys event to be added in. You got all that stuff, but the LS event, there's a little bit of everything going on. No matter what you like, car shows,
like
drag
Holly.
race.
This is kind of like Holly's, baby. If you can't see it out here, you don't need it on a race car.
That's it. Well, I've had a big time, T, and I know you have. But as always, guys, we never close our shows without thanking the best people on earth. Number one, you, the listener, for taking the time to listen to what we're trying to bring you. And for sure, our sponsors. There are no better in the world than the guys at Beach Bend Raceway, Beach Bend Park, and Splash Lagoon.
Quick Fuel Technology and Final Finish.
The Gearhead Gazette magazine, guys, the number one car guy magazine on the internet, gearheadgazette.com. If you can't find an event to go to and have some fun there, you're sure not looking for anything.
Looking real hard, are you?
And, of course, the guys that brought you the LS Fest, our good buddies, Trevor and all the guys from Holly. What a great company, guys.
What a great bunch of guys.
Yeah. If you can't find something out of the wide variety that Holly sells, of all the products that they sell, if you can't find something for your hot rod at Holly Performance, you don't have a hot rod. Yeah, and you're not even looking. We appreciate you more than you know joining us on Event Radio. We hope we've entertained you just a little. We hope we've brought you some pretty cool interviews with some really cool people.
If you like cars, we'll entertain you a little
Yeah,
bit.
we'll try our best. We'll try our best. But as we always say in closing, guys, if you like what you hear, please tell a friend. If you don't, keep it to yourself. T, let's go to the house, bud.
Let's go to the house.
We'll see you again, guys. Thank you for joining us. Bye.
You've been listening to Event Radio, covering local drag racing, stock car racing, motorcycles, go-karts. If it's got wheels and you can race it, you heard about it here. Event Radio is motorsports radio on steroids. Join us next time with your hosts, Spivey Williams and Terrible T Guy.